What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yeah, dude. I love your tune, Sam.
Thank you. That was
God, what a great intro, buddy. That was amazing.
thank you. Go fuck yourself. To came in 706. Yo, yeah, that was I just found all these old tunes of mine on this old hard drive, and so I just dusted some stuff off, and I found that track, and I was like, this one's good.
Well, it was a great way to get us psyched up. I love Dirty Laundry by Don Henley. It's not often you hear a good Don Henley sample.
I think I call that one Headlights. I don't know why.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Don Henley. No, forget that. Forget
I was
that.
talking to Chat. Chat said, "What's it called?" It's not on anything. I'll put it up on my SoundCloud. Azoth 89. Why don't you want to support a sports thing?
Yeah, we don't talk about sports here. This is a safe house for issues that are surrounding sports and otherwise. I mean, eventually we open up the calls. We talk to you about, things sports related, and sometimes we drift away from sports. So you don't have to worry about this being just a sports show. Consider this a safe house.
Yeah.
Where we can talk about anything, and we, just center it around some water cooler talk, sports wise.
Yeah. Let's get something out of the way here. I think our audience, the people who are returning, are very surprised today to find out that you, Greg Johnson, you do have eyes.
I do. I was gonna try out, what happened to me, and I was explaining this to you, Sam, off the air, is my favorite pair of shades broke.
Son of a bitch.
So I found these ones, and I think these are pretty cool, these new shades. I found them in a drawer. I think I'm going to call them my ska look. Tell me what you think. I feel like it looks like I'm in the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones or whatever. Kind of like
it looks like
a Dropkick Murphy thing.
It looks like you're ready to join like a SoCal pop punk band. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm like, sorry, I'm not home right now. I'm walking in the spider webs.
Look, how's that?
Oh, you look good, brother.
These are scripts, dude. I got my lenses in here. My prescripts.
Oh, these are script too. Make no bones about it. These cost me $1,000.
The Mario hat to go with the stash. Thinking the other room. I don't know. It's a funny thing about hats. You don't have to wear them all the time.
The reason that I'm wearing the ska shades is just because I have rapid eye movement. I'm over looking at us in the feed. I'm looking at stuff you're writing to me. And of course, I'm in the chat. And I do want to shout out to all your fans in the chat, whether they love sports or not. It's cool that they're a part of this show. And, it's cool that you share your audience with me and I get to chat with them today. And it's just cool to be with you, Sam.
Love having you on. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know that the guy to my right on screen is the one, the only, the Greg Johnson.
Yes.
And I'm sure
that's my handle on social media, the Greg Johnson. I think I should change that. Do you? I don't like that anymore. I feel
my Instagram is that Sam Brown, and you're the Greg Johnson, so similar.
I'm down with it. My name is Greg, and I'm happy to be here with you, Sam, and happy to be on official WKUK Twitch channel, which is just amazing. I check out your content all the time. I'm a diehard old school WKUK fan, and so it's great to be here with you, Sam, whenever we get together. And it's cool to try out these new ska shades I got.
Say something like say give me some big news right now.
Big news?
Make up some like sports news that would like shock and appeal me.
Well, I'm actually seeing something coming through the wire. Tiger Woods just got out of surgery, and he says he will try to play in the Masters.
Wait. I screwed it up. Give me 1 second.
Oh, here's another fake news story coming in. It turns out Shaq has announced that he's running for president. All right. Shaq is running for president.
Yeah, that's my shade tip. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, Greg did say, what the fuck is a bicycle? That is Greg's claim to fame.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. The chat is blowing up. I love that. I get recognized for that all the time here in Brooklyn.
Like, yeah, people stop you. Hey, yo. What the fuck is a bicycle?
What the fuck is a bicycle?
He said it.
And then I sign. I do sign. I sign.
All right, so another little housekeeping. So this is a call-in show, but not technically a call. Like, you got to go onto our Discord. If you go into the About on the Whitest Kids Twitch, you can go into the Discord, hang out in the weight room. The only thing we ask you is that we got two things for you. You got to ask us about sports. Has to be something with sports. And number two, just don't turn your video off. It's a layout thing. It's like a screen layout thing. So just follow those two simple rules, and we'll be all good.
Yes, it is a screen layout thing. It's not that we don't want to see your bedrooms, but please turn your video off. And we get a lot of great callers from all over the country who want to talk about certain things. Tonight, I feel like maybe some people might want to talk about the NFL, their favorite football team, what their favorite football team's doing in the offseason. Somebody might want to talk about the NBA. I got one of the games on right now. Lakers play Utah tonight. That's a huge game. And we got the All-Star game for the NBA coming up. If you want to talk about your favorite basketball team, give us a call. And of course, on the tip of everyone's tongue, Sam, is the car accident and potential retirement of Eldrick Woods, Tiger Woods. Now, I've made no secret on this show about how much I love Eldrick, okay? I am Tiger Woods' #1 fan.
We were talking about Tiger playing with his son on the last Sportsboiz.
Yes, we were. Sportsboiz broke a bombshell because we had footage of Tiger and his son playing, and now when you look back, Sportsboiz was so eerily prescient, it shakes me to my innards, okay? We broke that story, and now it's looking like Tiger Woods may not only never play professional golf again, but maybe his last round of golf was that round a month ago with his 11-year-old son, Charlie. You know, you hate to talk about it. You hate to think for a second that we would live in a world where Tiger Woods wasn't playing golf. But after yesterday's car accident, we don't know. The future is uncertain. Now, Sam, what I wanted to ask you real quick is, did you hear about how there was a TV crew at his hotel when he was leaving minutes before he got in his accident?
Really? So,
yeah.
What's the speculation? Is it that there's a kind of like Princess Diana kind of situation where he was driving away from the TV crew? What's this?
No. It's separate, but related. There's a show called Grownish, I think. Is that the one with Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell? Yeah. Well, I guess the crew was shooting at this.
The Bell.
The crew was shooting at the same. That show was shooting at the same hotel in LA near you, where Tiger Woods was staying. Tiger was late apparently to get to an event where he was going to be with Drew Brees and NFL quarterback Justin Herbert. Chargers QB there. And anyway, he was late. Apparently, he looked agitated leaving, and he almost collided with the car that belonged to the director of that show. I think it was Grownish or Mixedish, one of those shows. Now, I say a lot of weird things in the show. This is a real thing.
Blackish spinoff, whichever one.
Yeah, it's like same-ish. They should call them all similar-ish.
Similar-ish.
Whichever-ish show it was. It doesn't matter. It was some show. Pick a show.
Do you think they go, this is part of the ish universe? This is part of the Ishiverse. They're
gonna have the Marvel comic universe versus the Ish universe one day, and it's gonna be Infinity War
crossover. Yeah, huge.
Well, apparently Tiger almost hit the director's car with his own. There was a close collision, literally, as Tiger was leaving the hotel, and then 20 minutes later, he was in this crazy car wreck where he actually went through the median. He flipped over a bunch of times, and he's lucky to be alive. Everyone knows that. So anyway, what we want to do for the next 2 hours is recap all of his mistresses. No, I'm just kidding. Wouldn't that be tedious? Is
it too soon to make a joke about this? I mean,
I think it's alive. Too late.
Is it too soon? Oh, it's too late.
No. It's not too soon. I mean, I want to preface this by saying that, we make light of a lot of things. Tiger is going to be okay. And also, I just want to say again, I'm Tiger's number one fan. So, I mean, we could say whatever we want. We're his number one fan.
Just the thing is that he was he recently had another back surgery, right? And the big question was how would his driving be?
Well, we got our answer, and famously, it's not his first example of bad driving. I mean, did you watch the HBO documentary? Because it begins with his DUI arrest video, where he's completely incoherent. It's a very sad video to watch, and maybe we'll get some body cam footage from the cops that arrived at the scene. I'm sure TMZ is hanging on that, just like Sportsboiz is.
I mean, like he got arrested for he was passed out at the wheel and he was on a bunch of drugs, right?
Yes, he didn't know where he was and he failed the sobriety test and all that.
Crazy. I mean, thank God he's alive. Like it seems like such a serious accident that
Yeah, they say he's lucky to be alive, and it's eerie because these things they always have weird timing. It's just so strange. The life that he's lived, and the fact that 2 days ago he was famously doing an interview with Jim Nantz talking about possibly retiring and all that. And fans of his on Twitter were saying during that interview he looked tired and he looked bloated. Now, I don't know if you saw the interview, Sam, but he looked like Tiger Woods, and fans were saying that. I heard somebody in the media say that. And you wonder, he had back surgery, so he was probably on painkillers, right? Like, you'd imagine that after his 20th back surgery, he's got to be on painkillers. And also, one other thing, the sheriff's office said at the scene of the accident, which again is in LA by you, Sam, he said there was no skid marks. There was no sign of braking. Now, I don't know what that says to me.
There was no other car, right? There was no other car involved in the accident?
No. He went through a median to the other side of the road into oncoming traffic, flipped a bunch of times, and there was no breakage. So obviously, you wonder if there was distracted driving involved, and you also wonder if Tiger is on a lot of medication. And, you also don't think of him as a guy who drives alone a lot. I always think that he would have an entourage or a driver. So that was a little weird too. But whatever. A lot of speculation.
A lot of speculation here on Sportsboiz. Someone in chat was wondering if you were going to apologize yet for your early LaMelo Ball take. I forget what your early LaMelo Ball take was.
I mean, it's still my take now. LaMelo Ball and the whole Ball family are a total bust. Now, I think LaMelo right now, I mean, respect to the fan. I don't see it in the chat. Respect. I love the question. The whole Ball family is a bust. LaMelo may be a front runner for Rookie of the Year right now. That Charlotte Hornets team is playing way above expectations, and LaMelo has played okay. It's just that I don't even think he's a future All-Star. I mean, I look at his brother, I look at him, I still think bust more than boom. I don't think LaMelo Ball I just don't know that they're going to build a team around him or he's going to win a championship. I'm going to go ahead and say bust.
Bust. You know who I love on that team? Scary Terry.
Who do you love? Gordon.
Scary Terry.
Oh.
Rozier.
Yeah, I mean,
man,
we miss him in Boston.
That guy played hard. I mean, he put it out there. Didn't he lose a tooth in a game or something? He was great.
Yeah, that sounds about right. He's awesome. He's great. He's great.
Yeah. Scary Terry, what a great nickname. He made his own t-shirts, the one with this where he's holding the Scream mask. Yeah.
Remember when you were in a store and you ran into Tony Allen from the Celtics?
Yeah. In Target. He was in Target. And my fiance held his baby. And then afterwards...
What?
Yeah, afterwards. This was just a thing where there was a baby. We've got a very cute dog who's asleep right here.
Yeah, my God.
It's a little dark. You can't, oh, wait. He's behind the mic. That's what. See that dog? Looks like
yes, dude.
Dog.
Yes.
Very cute dog.
More dog.
Named Flicka. And Flicka, who's so tired, she's not even putting her head up. But she is really great with babies, and we're in line at Target, and this baby is just kind of reaching for Flicka, and so Emily brought Flicka over and was like, hey, yeah. The baby goes to pet Flicka, and the mom's holding the baby, and then the baby just kind of grabbed for Emily, and then all of a sudden Emily's just holding this woman's baby, and they're laughing about it. And then the husband came up, and I'm looking at him like, I know that guy from somewhere. And he had this big chain with a pendant on it, and we're driving home, and I was like, this might sound crazy, I think that was Tony Allen. And my fiance didn't know who Tony Allen. I was like, look him up. And not only do we find pictures of him with his wife, but also wearing the same pendant. And it was like, yep, it was for sure Tony Allen.
That is great.
Very cool guy.
Man, that baby's gonna remember you guys forever.
Would we fuck an alien given the chance? Consent is provided. No, I'm taken. I would have to talk to my fiance first.
Potential three-way. It's an interesting question because I really believe that aliens are going to land. This is probably something that Twitch WKUK covers on other...
on Newsboys. Sounds very Newsboys.
I heard this. I heard of this actor. He hosted Saturday Night Live. I'd never heard of him. His name's Regé-Jean Page.
Oh yeah.
He's on Bridgerton. And then I looked him up and I saw that his next movie is scheduled to be a film version of Dungeons and Dragons. And I was like, yo, that's whitest kids are doing Dungeons and Dragons. Aren't you guys playing Dungeons and Dragons?
We just did our last D&D of our first Dungeons and Dragons campaign. We did our last episode. That's part of the reason I am exhausted. I was up till 3 in the morning on Monday, I guess Tuesday officially, editing it so it could be up at 9 a.m. that morning. And I hit the upload and I woke up at 9 and Trevor calls me and he's like, there's a problem with the upload. And then had to re-upload it, re-export it. And then like, as I'm exporting it, my internet goes down. I mean, this is really boring stuff, but,
well, no, it's not. Shout out to you for getting that done. Your technical expertise gets all this content online, and we appreciate it. And
no spoilers, guys. No spoilers in the chat, because Harvey DOG paused the episode to watch this show here. But yeah, that was my favorite episode. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Best in it. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, no spoilers, guys.
And King Hova wants to know, pressing this issue. We'll get to sports. There's plenty of sports to talk about, but he wants to know if we would sleep with an alien. I think I need a visual on what the alien looks like. If it's like kind of like a classic gray man situation, no. I'm going to go ahead and say no. I'm not going to sleep with an alien. Right.
But wait. Close your eyes.
Done.
Right. Classic gray man. I can't tell. You got your sunglasses on. Classic gray man.
Okay.
Big old boobs.
Nice. Oh.
Like the nicest.
That's some curveball,
the
man.
The nicest butt ever. And
like ever?
Yeah, nicest butt. Just such a great ass. But she's ready to go.
No, I gotta pass. But next man up.
You know what I want to talk about sometime on great personality. Like really just has like a sexual essence too. We should next Sportsboiz. I'm not prepared for this, or maybe someone can call in to talk about this, but we should get people to talk about skateboarding. I want to hear about I used to skateboard. I don't anymore. I used to suck, but I used to like follow it and read magazines and shit. Love to hear about some who's good and who's got the good videos, the good segments in skateboarding. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I actually Googled some skateboarding news last night randomly. All I saw was that a champion skateboarder, I don't remember his name. He got busted for a COVID party in LA. He had a big house party and he got busted. And in other skating news, Sam, what do you think about Bam Margera calling for a boycott of Jackass?
It's funny because I have so much respect for those guys, for the Jackass guys. I've actually worked on Swerved, which was from I'm blanking on his name right now, but the guy that directs all their shit.
Jeff Tremaine, the WWE Tremaine. Show.
Yeah. Jeff Tremaine, who's a really cool guy. I had a lot of fun, like sitting in the room and like pitching shit to Jeff Tremaine, and he was a really funny dude, and it was really fun to like make that dude laugh. I thought that was really cool, and yeah, a lot of respect for Jackass dudes, and I've seen the movies in theaters, and I think most of if not every time that I saw one of those movies, I was with someone from the whitest kid. If not 2 out of 3, it was 3 out of 3. Uh, and you know, when I was young, like I was way into the toy machine video, jumping off a building and Welcome to Hell, where you kind of like, it's like the first I ever heard of Bam Margera, and I thought his like little skits were really funny. And I went to Warp Tour and I bought a tape called Land Speed CKY. Land Speed, I think, was a bearing company. And they sold this tape called CKY. That was also the name of the band in it, and that shit like broke my brain. And it was so crazy and so wild. And then CKY2K, where like there's a part in that where it just cuts to like shit coming out of someone's ass, and that was like unheard of at that. I thought that was so funny. But like, you know, having a lot of respect for Jackass and stuff like that, I can see how like I think Bam Margera's kind of gone down a dark path, and it seems like the guy's got a lot of ego, and you know, maybe I'm wrong about him. You know, I thought it was cool, but I could see there being problems there, and why he would have a split with those dudes, and yeah.
I mean, it's fascinating,
I have a lot
right?
of respect for Steve-O. I think I saw that the life and death or whatever of Steve-O about his addiction problems. Thought that was amazing.
Yeah, I think I saw that with you for the first
Yeah.
time. I think we were together.
Yeah. I thought
And that really spoke to me, not just then, but now. You know, I gave up alcohol a few years ago. And I think when you look at the Jackass situation, it's so interesting because Ryan Dunn died. You remember? We were together then too, Sam. I remember I was visiting you in Los Angeles when Ryan Dunn died. And you have sort of this divergence at that point where Bam has famously struggled with his addiction issues in the public eye. And Steve-O, like you mentioned, to me, Steve-O is like an inspiration and like almost a hero. I mean, just the fact that he's still alive, the fact that he's able to do, I think, 10 years now sober when he was so hopelessly addicted to drugs that are stronger than anything I found myself addicted to. What I'm saying is Steve-O is an American hero. He's the man. I love that guy. And I pray for Bam. And we both miss Ryan Dunn too, right? That's my TED Talk on the Jackass guy.
Ryan Dunn was he was awesome. He had like such a like a low key personality. Like his whole piece, I think it was Jackass 2, where he's the one who shoved the car up his ass, if I'm not, which was like the big centerpiece ending skit of that movie. And he does this whole speech about how his dad would be disappointed in him. And I thought that was so funny, and it was such a great personality to like push that bit. And yeah, I thought it was a bummer that he passed away. And I mean, like, I think that like there is something interesting where it's like after Jackass there were two big Jackass shows, Viva La Bam and Wildboyz. And to me, and this again, I still have. Oh, it was Steve-O that dad, not Ryan Dunn. Well, was Ryan Dunn not the one who shoved the car in his ass? I thought they were like kind of like, oh, it won't be funny if
Ryan did it, and Steve-O said, I think Steve-O's in the car, and he's like, I can't do it, dude. My dad would kill me. And it's like, Steve-O, your dad sees you do everything, and then this is where Steve-O draws the line. But yeah, I believe Ryan Dunn did that. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. That was a great segment. That was a highlight. But you're getting props for the Steve-O impression.
He's like, yeah, dude, I couldn't even fucking, dude, if I wanted to, I could not fucking, dude, I couldn't even, dude, I mean, yeah, dude.
But like, so there's the Viva La Bam thing and the Wildboyz thing.
Oh, yeah.
And Wildboyz seemed like it was like two guys really having fun with like the opportunity they have and kind of using it in like an interesting way. And there's this cool idea there. And Viva La Bam seemed like someone just like reveling in their fame.
Yeah, it was very problematic, that show, I felt like. And it also produced some criminals in his family, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that is true. That is
like that show literally starred like criminals. Like that shouldn't have
well, he
been...
was a pedophile, right? Uncle Vito or whatever.
Yeah, and he's dead. So
he's dead. Yeah. So he's dead. Let's take a call. All right, I'm gonna move
if you want to talk about sports or the Jackass guys, again, you know, I pray for Bam because I wish he was in the movie first and foremost. I want to see the movie, but also, you know, I saw Steve-O. I watch a lot of Steve-O on YouTube, dude. And he's like, yeah, dude, you gotta want to get better, dude. And, you know, Bam's doing his thing, dude.
Hold on. Before I take... All right, I'm going to take this caller in. Azoth, I think is who this is. Yes, Azothoth. I'm going to move you to the... so you are on, and I am going to take a second, though, while we're doing this, to turn off the timer for how many viewers we have. Give me 1 sec.
Copy that. Again, shout out to all the people in chat. I love WKUK fans. I love you, Sam. It's great to be here. And again, it's good to talk to people too. So it's cool to get callers. Anything you want to talk about, sports related. If you want to talk about Tiger Woods, skating, Bam Margera, NFL, or sports gambling too. That'd be cool. Anything you want to talk about, it's great.
Azothoth, you're on the air with Sportsboiz.
Hey, long time depressed loser, first time sports boy.
Oh, very cool, very cool. So, what sport you want to talk about today?
I'm gonna try to stay on topic. What do you think Bobo's favorite sport would have been?
Bobo's fave sport. Well, I'm gonna start with mentioning that I definitely think that Peppermint Pissy, I think her favorite sport would probably be motocross. Dude, she's definitely into the freestyle kind of stuff. Bobo's favorite sport was probably golf, actually, because I don't know if you realize this about Bobo, but he was a noble. He was kind of a rich kid. He golf or rowing. Also
very patient.
He was like a Winklevoss, you know.
He was out there slumming it.
Oh yeah, totally. That was the backstory. He was a rich kid. Do you have any other sports questions, or is that?
Unfortunately, not really. Thanks for having me on, though.
Thanks for being on.
Thanks for being
Great
on.
to get callers. Way to kick it off, bro. I have no idea what you guys were talking about.
That was the D&D thing. All right, I'm gonna bring on no on prop 3. What's prop 305?
That's cool, man. D&D is sports.
Hello. You're.
Oh, hey. Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, hey.
Yeah, I think you have a loop going on.
Got it. Okay, yeah,
Okay, got it.
I think I caught that. Okay.
What's prop
just,
305?
Oh, it's a Simpsons line. It was the Moochin' War Widows.
Nice.
It's funny because it's like I'm worried about like saying your name in case it might incriminate me in some way.
Yeah, no.
It's like, hey, no on prop 305, and people isolate just the clip, and they're like, Sam's for killing the elderly.
Oh shit! I didn't pick that.
You see this video? Yeah, some people online. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
So good. I mean, has this not been just the best year of your life? I mean, I've been inside since last St. Patrick's Day, and my life is great.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Like just doing nothing all the time, so it's just great. Love this whole like Sportsboiz thing, all the WKUK. Like it's getting us all through it.
Thank you.
God, like just nothing going on. Thank God they got sports going.
Yeah, they're happy.
Yeah, we had planned a whole Sports Boy tour before this whole COVID thing started. We had sold out 55 venues.
Yeah.
There were small venues, and we weren't expecting much from the shows, but hopefully in 2022 we'll get that going again.
Yeah, for sure.
We had an exclusive deal with the Improv where we played every Improv. We had if there was a city we were playing, we had to play the Improv if they were there.
Because I mean, you like the Sportsboiz streaming on Twitch, but the live experience, like the energy when Sam and I enter a room, it's unmatched. Hey Sam, caller, if you could just hold on 1 second, Sam, I had a quick idea I wanted to run by you. I'm sorry, it's just before I forget because I've been wanting to bring this up to you every time we do this show.
Yeah.
And we'll get to it after the caller, maybe. But I want to talk to you about possibly a weight loss competition between the two of us. What about the idea that we both get jacked just for the sake of hosting a sports podcast? Now, bear with me. I'm talking jacked out of our minds. I want to get down to 5% body fat just so we're in form to host a sports podcast. Don't commit to it yet. Put it on the back burner. Let's get to what the caller wanted to talk about.
Okay. Oh man, I mean,
caller, what's your body fat percentage?
Yeah, I don't know what's okay one and maybe double it. I don't know.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, if you took one of those pinchy things that I think they use, you'd get a lot in there.
All right, you're about half. You're about half fat.
I'm half fat. Yeah.
Here's the thing with me is my biggest reservation about this plan is that I would have to tell people my weight, and that's my.
Well, no, there's a workaround there. We don't have to do it like that.
You just go by pounds off, but.
Yeah, true.
I mean, Sam, you and I are about the same height, Sam. I'm 6'3". I would bet you're 6'4", right, Sam?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I don't think we necessarily have to divulge our poundage, but there is a way to do it. And it's a way we're going to want to do because I think we owe it to the Sportsboiz audience to be jacked.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't know. We'll talk about it. It would be great though if we could just. I got a little excess going on, so.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we should get jacked together.
Definitely got some of this. I could cut this down. Definitely.
By the way, look at Macho Man. At Macho Man.
I was looking at that right when you signed on. That's a real.
He's just sitting there. He's thinking about COVID. He's thinking about, Tiger. Is Tiger gonna retire? He's got a lot on his mind. He's like, when's Sportsboiz on again? He's like, I want to see that Sports Boy, yeah.
I feel what's that Scorpion song? Winds of Change with the whistling?
Oh, great tune. Listen to the winds of change.
I feel that goes with that. That's what he's listening to in his head right there. Yeah. If you don't know that song, look it up.
He's definitely listening to a Monster Ballad CD.
No on Prop 305. What can we call you, or should we call you No on Prop 305?
You can call me Eddie. I've been on here before, actually.
Eddie, yeah.
Put in the chat.
Your name your voice sounded familiar.
Yeah.
Wait, did we talk to you about hockey?
Yeah, that was a way back ago.
Yeah, I remember. You're a good caller.
Eddie's Eddie's in Canada. Eddie, I wanted to ask you, Is it common for people in Canada to have like skating rinks in their yards?
Yeah, especially this year, it's crazy. Like everyone's got a yard rink going,
So,
like with boards, and everyone's like trying to outdo each other. So they're like painting lines, like making nice nets. Like it's crazy.
so do you like what's that process?
You got they got kits of them at a store called Canadian Tire. I don't know if it's probably not in the States, I guess.
No, we don't
yeah,
got
yeah.
Canadian Tire.
It sounds pretty self-explanatory.
No.
Yeah. So anyways,
I think it's in the US it's called McDonald's.
that could.
I think that's the equivalent.
So like they got like kits. It's like a plastic like bottom part that you put down, and then you just kind of fill it with water. And it's been so crazy cold here. It's gotten a little better recently, but we had like crazy polar vortex coming through. Which
Oh
is,
yeah, same here. I mean, Texas froze. What I gotta ask though is Sam and I both grew up in the New England region, so there were a lot of really great hockey players in that region. I think the Northeast of America probably has some of the best American hockey, but it obviously doesn't hold a candle to Canadian hockey. And if all Canadians have like these ice rinks in their yard, like the worst scrub at your high school who can like barely play must be like nasty. Like, right? Like, is every Canadian just like nasty on skates?
There's probably just way more. So there's gonna like the same shitty guys are gonna be the same there. There's just way more. So there's way more good guys, and then the shitty ones just stop playing hockey by like grade 4 because they're not going anywhere. I don't know. I knew I wasn't going anywhere, and I kept playing my whole life. So
what is
That's
it?
awesome.
Is it Ottawa that has the biggest skating rink in the world thing? Where it's like just the river is like where people actually like skate to work and stuff?
I think it is Ottawa. That sounds right. I know Winnipeg's got one of those too. I was living in Winnipeg a little bit last year, and they like freeze their river there, and you can just get around on it.
That's freaking rad. I actually just found my hockey skates. I haven't skated in so long, but I have a pair of hockey skates. Yeah.
Oh my God, I got to get this out. The Mighty Ginger just pointed out the Boston College connection here. I got to say, Boston College, best hockey school in America. And when I went to Boston College to see a hockey game once, and I bet you haven't seen this in Canada. This was a real rarity in a hockey game. Eddie, bear with me. Hobie Baker Award winner, Brian Jonta. This was about 20 years ago. This must have been 2002. Brian Jonta went on to play in the NHL. This game I saw, it was the year he won Player of the Year, Hobie Baker Award. And in this one game, you can look it up, in the first period, he scored 5 goals, including a legit breakaway buzzer beater. It was so huge. I mean, have you ever even heard of such a thing? 5 goals in a period, including a buzzer beater. I think we left at the first intermission because we weren't going to see anything.
Did everybody leave? Like, did he leave?
So shout out to Boston College and Brian Jonta.
Jonta. I always liked Jonta. He's like a sort of a little guy that made it. Hey, right?
Exactly.
Was he from like Alaska? Or is that another one I'm thinking of? That might be something.
I'm not exactly sure. I think he was from New Jersey,
but I might be getting his hometown mixed up.
Well, BC has nasty hockey teams. Yeah. And Wheel of Money says BC is not the best hockey school in America, but I mean, respectfully, Wheel of Money, they got a lot of championships and they're nasty.
Actually, I have a hockey clip right here that I'll show. Give me a second to bring this up. It's the Pastrnak clip. Have you seen this, Eddie?
Is this him after the game?
This is the after the game.
Eddie knew right away. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Go.
Yeah.
I picture Eddie with just like everyone in Canada has like multiple screens with like all NHL content.
I've got hockey on right now. Like I was watching the Leafs Flames game just ended, and now it's led to like other stuff. But yeah,
Can you bet on the games?
yeah, oh yeah, you can bet on everything. I put just stupid money on dumb things like exact scores and who's gonna score first because they got crazy odds.
Oh my god, I gotta
It's
know.
all
Do
about the
you
prop
win?
bets.
I got a friend who's into NHL, and it makes me feel like, since I don't know as much about NHL as the other four majors, I feel like, maybe there's like betting money to be made, but the spreads are there's not. Gambling is, who knows?
Probably do better if you don't know about it because like I'm looking at like, oh, this guy's gonna have a good game book against this team, but then it's like if you just look at the stats, like, oh, this guy scores a bunch of points and you pick him, that's probably the guy.
Yeah, you gotta be analytical, not emotional.
Yeah.
Now, Mighty Ginger 4 said BC's not the best hockey school, and Mighty Ginger 4 says there's no money in betting NHL. I disagree with that. I'm going to go get rich off of betting in NHL. You guys watch me. You watch me.
Just buy some crypto with your winnings. All right. So wait, here's Pastrnak. I'm playing this clip. If you want to watch it, hit the stream window.
A long ways away. Why are you wearing the glasses now? I assume
I hit something.
I assume it's not sunny, or is it just you enjoy having them on?
Well, we were listening Barbie Girl before you guys asked me to the media, so I was kind of dancing with these glasses out in the locker room, and then you guys ruined it, and I had to go answer the question, so I missed the Barbie Girl song, and who knows what's gonna be on when I come back.
They missed They missed the Barbie Girl. He missed the Barbie Girl. They were dancing to Barbie Girl when the media came to ask it. He has like what accent is that? Is that the like French Canadian accent?
Pastrnak?
Yeah.
I don't know what he is. He's like Slovakian or something.
He reminds me so much of the goalie from Slapshot, like explaining the rules of hockey in the beginning.
Oh, don't do that. You go to the box if you do that.
Yeah, and then you feel shame. Yeah.
And then you feel shame. Trade me right fucking now.
But yeah, basically they asked him why he was wearing those sunglasses, and he said, I was dancing to Barbie Girl before you guys came to ask me to do the media, and then you guys ruined it.
As if that's like a legitimate response for, I mean, we all get it, but like, that's the connection.
It's like, all right, yeah, you win a hockey game, you dance to Barbie Girl, and you wear.
There's another connection to the Randy Savage shirt there.
Oh yeah,
the sunglasses.
He's Czech.
He's Czech, that's
Avs fan 101. So what's going on with the hockey, with the NHL this season?
Oh man, it's pretty crazy. It seems like high scoring in that Canada division. Like if you want to see goals, go there. Except for tonight when it was like a 2-1 win in overtime. But like, I mean, McDavid and Matthews are just lighting it up every day. So watch them. Marner, like goalies are just
Connor McDavid. Wait, is that his name?
Connor McDavid, yeah.
Connor McDavid's like 19, and he's already has like 5,000 points or something.
He's 23 now. But he just hit his 500th in the exact same amount of games as Crosby did to get to 500. So he's
absolutely
that's
filthy.
Pretty. Yeah, and then Matthews is almost at like a goal per game this year.
Wait, so where is Sid the Kid on the all-time list?
He's like,
we don't know. If you don't know, that's fine.
You know, top 20, top 25, maybe. I don't know, but he's still like just unreal.
So is Connor McDavid at 23 on pace to like break Gretzky's records, or are those unbreakable?
No, the only the points record is untouchable. Goals record, people are saying Ovi might get there, but
right. Yeah, and what wait, where's Ovi at? Wait, so Gretzky has the all-time goals record, and Ovechkin, if he plays another like 6 years, could get it?
I think so. I think he's like 150 goals away from Gretzky's goals right now.
Amazing. And he could probably play till he's like 45, right?
Oh, yeah. The Russian machine never breaks.
I got nothing.
That's great.
Yeah.
You're a great caller, Eddie.
Eddie, call us again soon.
Just happy to be here. Thanks so much, boys.
Wait, Eddie, who's going to be in the Stanley Cup Finals? Tell us now.
Let's see. I'm thinking Avalanche and maybe Toronto. I don't like Toronto, but I think I said this exact same thing last time we talked. I said Toronto was going to be in hunt, and I was like bummed about it, but they're so fucking good.
All right, Toronto and the Avalanche.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Eddie, we'll have you back on. And somebody in the chat says make Eddie a regular. Well, he's doing that himself by calling us.
Yeah, I'd love to.
And so we'll see how the Avalanche and Toronto progress and how Eddie progresses. Thank you, Eddie.
Yeah, for sure. I'll keep you guys updated.
Sam, this is so cool. You
Thank
have
you
international
so much.
callers here on your channel.
Yeah, this is an international show.
And anyone...
Oh wait, Eddie, I just kicked Greg out instead of you.
Oh shit. He's not gonna like that, eh?
Oh no. Oh no. Greg, turn your video on.
Oh man.
Oh, fail. F. There we go.
What did I do?
There we go.
You got it? There.
I kicked out you instead of Eddie. It's not that I'm kicking you.
Hey, I get
Eddie,
it.
thanks so much for calling in.
Oh, absolutely.
You're
Anytime.
I'm looking at the standings here. You're serious about this goals thing. Fucking Toronto and Edmonton. Like if you look at like the standings, like let's see, in all of the other 3 divisions, the most goals for is I think 60 for the Caps. 64 Carolina. Both Toronto, Edmonton have 74 and 76 goals for. And then Winnipeg and Montreal are right on their heels at 61. And then Vancouver at 68. But they also like, what's going on there? They're like, their goalie's a sieve, huh?
Yeah, he used to be good. Like, I don't know. Not used to be. He's young, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Kim Karna says Leafs are that gas, and Nelson Fenger says they're in Argentina. Sorry, just
I saw someone say that Avs had multiple games postponed, and that's a good point. Like they've got a lot of firepower, and they missed like a week and a half because of COVID. So
wait, the Habs did, but they lost their coach, right?
Avalanche, Avs did.
I'm sorry, the Avs. Yeah.
I think we have an Avs fan in the chat. Avs fan.
Yeah, Avs fan.
I thought you were referring to the Habs, which is the Canadians, right? And they fired their coach yesterday.
I believe it's pronounced Canadians.
Canadians?
Eddie,
right,
thanks so much for calling in.
Yeah.
We like to keep the callers on long enough to the point that they tell us they got to bounce. They're like, yo, look, I got to bounce. There's another hockey game coming on.
Yeah, they're like, I've got my mom's calling me. And we're like, we don't hear anything.
Yeah. They're like, what? I got to go.
Oh, we're breaking up. I don't know. You're coming in just fine and clear. Good call. Good call. I am like so underprepared for today. But that was a good call. What should we do?
You know, I love the calls. This first hour just flew by, and I'm up for whatever, Sam. Whatever you want to do, man. Whatever you want to talk about, and whatever your fans want to talk about.
All right, wait. First, all right, we got to talk about this weight loss competition because I feel like that's got to happen. And secondly, it's going to be some time before we do this, but I found out that for the first time, they are making MLB The Show, which is the standard of baseball games. They're making it for Xbox. Not only are they making it cross-platform, they're making it cross-generation. So we'll be able to play each other. So I think what we need to make as like a regular segment is at the end of the episode, you and I'll face off, and if people want to watch us face off at the show, they can stick around and watch us shoot the shit and watch me destroy you in, I don't know, home run derby, 9 innings, 6 innings, 5 innings, whatever.
Yeah, as Dennis Rodman 420 points out, they could bet on it if they want. The safe bet, the smart bet, the logical bet is on me. Listen, everyone, I'm surprised Sam is even suggesting this, because he's not only going to get whooped, he's going to get embarrassed, bro.
You're
going to get owned.
I have a funny story. So back when we both lived in the same city, that's when I started playing this show, and I used to show you it, and I'd be like, "Oh, this is sick! I've created Sam Brown as a player. I'm playing a full season with him. He's playing second base and all this stuff." And right when I moved to LA, or a year after I moved to LA, I got the show again and was playing it, and decided to play as a pitcher. And I got way into playing a season as a pitcher. And one day I was playing at home, and I just had a girl move in with me, and she came home, and my girlfriend, she's walking through the apartment, and I'm like, "Hey, I don't want to be weird, but I'm 7 innings into a no-hitter, and I'm just going to be really dialed in for the next couple." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And she was walking. She's like, "I got to walk by. Can you pause?" And I pause it, and she walks by the TV. She's walking back, and all of a sudden, the screen went black, and the disc popped out of the PlayStation. And I was like, and I looked at her, and she looked down, and I had that DVD remote for the PlayStation, and she'd stepped on the eject button. And I had to be like, "I'm not mad." That was the first thing I said to her. I was like, "I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad." Which is an insane thing to say. It was insane.
Wow.
7 innings into a no-hitter. I had 6 outs to go.
That's the story of your breakup? Is that you're it ended right then and there?
I'm not mad.
You're
I'm just annoyed that I have to find a new girlfriend.
You're like that, you're basically like Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City. You're like, "Oh, I'm so unlucky in love. Hey, boys, you know that feeling when your girl steps on the remote and accidentally ejects the show while you're pitching a no-hitter? I just can't find a good girl who won't accidentally eject video games."
Ed Salvador, yes, that was a bit of a Jeselnik reference. I will credit Jeselnik for the haircut. She's sad about her haircut, and he goes, "You think you're upset? I have to find a new girlfriend."
Man, Jeselnik, I love that guy.
Yeah,
I love that there's a guy named Ed in your chat who would shout out a Jeselnik reference. Wow, big ups. Yeah. That's great. He was great in Miss March.
Oh yeah, he was the music video director, right? We first met him when we went and did the Aspen Comedy Festival. Good.
Yeah, and he always had the great line where he's steps out on stage to applause, obviously, and Jeselnik would say, "Thanks so much for coming out. It's about to pay off." I love that. That's
we were talking about getting guests on the show, and I almost asked my friend Eric Moneypenny from He's a really funny writer. He was on the group The Midnight Show. He was on Key and Peele. He's in the Gremlins sketch for Eric Andre, and very funny sketch writer, but also a huge sports fan, and has a very encyclopedic knowledge. He's going to be great to have on. But what we have to ask him about is he used to work at the ArcLight with Jeselnik and has all these stories about them fucking around at the ArcLight in which is a movie theater here in LA. And yeah, I gotta have him on, and if I have him on, you gotta remind me to get those stories out of him.
I will. Yeah, is Eric from Pittsburgh? Because that's where Jeselnik's from too.
No, he's from Cleveland.
Oh, I thought maybe they knew each other growing up. Either way,
met in LA.
Beautiful. God, I love Jeselnik. He's like Dame Edna.
Wait. Hey, I don't get this comment. Hey, is the word following this hyphen censored? Losers. Wait, what is it? Is that censored by Nightbot or something?
Always fun to check in with everyone in the chat. Yeah, what is that? Is that where it's censored?
I don't get what you guys are talking about. Yeah. Oh, it's censored on the. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what Twitch censors. Yeah. Maybe it's on our Nightbot or something like that.
Did you end up watching the Super Bowl on Twitch?
I don't get how it's. Oh yeah, I hung out with my brother and we watched the whole Super Bowl. Good game. Our boy became a man in front of our eyes. This young upstart Tom Brady, who What'd you think? Reactions.
Oh, the Super Bowl was great. I was rooting for Tom Brady. I didn't want Patrick Mahomes to. I love Patrick Mahomes. It just so happens that I think I love Tom Brady more, and I thought it was a great game. I thought the right team won the game since the Chiefs had so much problems sort of on offense. And I got to say, I was a little surprised that Tom Brady got as drunk as he did at the parade.
Oh, yeah.
He could barely stand up.
He threw the Lombardi trophy from boat to boat, and then
that was something.
Could not stand walking out of the parade. He threw the fucking trophy, yeah. Someone says Gronk,
it's like, does he
human garbage? I think Gronk is just a fucking moron.
I mean, the chat is lighting up on this topic. Did you hear about the daughter of the designer of the Lombardi trophy who asked for an apology from Tom Brady? She said he should not have thrown the trophy and that he owes her an apology. To me, that was absolutely psychotic. Maybe if you're the designer of the trophy, you're particular about it, but for the daughter of the designer to say that Tom Brady could to try to place rules around what he can do with the trophy is ridiculous.
Yeah, those headlines should have just read daughter of the daughter of the designer of the Vince Lombardi trophy, right? That's what we're talking about.
Exactly. Yeah.
It should have read daughter of designer of Vince Lombardi trophy wants to be talked about.
Exactly.
Wants some attention.
Look, Tom Brady is the GOAT. I was a little shocking to see him black out, and I got to give a shout out to your Sportsboiz fan, Trapper King here, because I feel like Trapper the King embodies a good sports fan. Trapper the King is a Chiefs fan. Trapper the King is in Kansas City. but Trappy the King is able to say the right team won. And obviously, all Chiefs fans are able to rest on the fact that Mahomes will be good for the next, I think he just signed an 11-year contract or more. So, yeah, Chiefs are going to be good. It was a good game. That's what a good fan is, I feel like. A fan who can love his team. His team's in the Super Bowl, but, you know, you don't have to get down when your team loses. God knows that I never got sad after any of those Patriots losses. I just held my head high and said, here's to sportsmanship.
Yeah. On your way to the gun store where you bought can I have a
straight
shotgun?
It was like a straight glass of vodka.
Do you sell these shotgun shells just singles? I just need one.
No, that's a good Chiefs fan. Good fans don't get sad when their team loses. They get happy. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I will say this. I mean, like, yeah, the Chiefs line, like, sucked. Like, they weren't there. They, you know, like, they had no offensive line, and it showed. But, like, Tampa Bay won that game, you know? Like, they, like, that touchdown right at the end of the second quarter was great. And man, like, some of that defense was going crazy. Like, that, there was one hit where Mahomes got hit, like, outright, and it was like a brutal tackle. It was legal. It was freaking rough to watch. It was like, you know, like, most tackles don't look like that kind of thing. Like, I think he fumbled the ball, but it got recovered or something on it. It was rough.
I mean, the reality of the NFL is so kind of strangely hypocritical these days because you're looking at a league that just brutalizes its players. I mean, you know, it seems like every month we hear about a player suffering from, you know, CTE or other problems. I mean, Rob Gronkowski himself, I remember just a year and a half ago was on CBS This Morning talking about how his brain would swell after games. So he was happy retired. Now, cut to the Super Bowl on CBS, and they're like celebrating his touchdown. And it's like, yo, that was the same guy you had on talking about how he's having major health problems at age 29 due to playing in the NFL. So I guess what I'm saying is nothing groundbreaking, but it's insane because you know, want to root for these guys. Everyone loves the NFL, but it's just like Patrick Mahomes could seriously hurt himself or, you know, have his career ended on any given play. It's absolutely insane and dangerous.
I mean, Alex Smith, he was in the news today. Guy almost died. Guy almost was so beat up he could have died. And they apparently, there's stories coming out that, or like he has said that Ron Rivera didn't want him on the team at the beginning of the season. And he had the comeback player of the year. Was he 5-1, 6-1, something like that? Wild.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because, you know, Alex Smith is kind of calling it like he saw it. He said, this team didn't expect me to come back and they didn't have me in their plans. So it's like, you know, I think he feels disrespected, potentially rightfully so. But on the flip side of that, you do have a team that's, you know, not expecting him to come back because no one's ever come back from an injury like that. So, you know, in some ways it kind of made sense that he wasn't in their plans because they didn't expect him to be back on the field. So I don't know. You know what's really interesting about the Washington football team too, Sam, is that Jeff Bezos from Amazon is considering buying them.
Oh.
I know how much you love Jeff Bezos and Amazon. I mean, earlier off the air, Sam was talking about how great Jeff Bezos treats all his workers in the factories. And Sam was talking about
this is our platform. That's our boss, Greg. Jeff Bezos runs Twitch.
Oh, I didn't know that, but now that I do, I'm glad I do, because I love Jeff Bezos. He's the man. I love Amazon. I get a package every day, and I support Amazon always.
All right, really quick, we got one donation, guys, and I'm reading donations now. It's from Tanzig the Elegant. Sportsboiz, baby. Yeah, what is a bicycle? Thank you, Tanzig. That was a donation for
nice.
12, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let me read the subs.
I think we need to do a segment. We should maybe, you can read them, but we should maybe do a segment on cycling every Sportsboiz. And it can be like, what the fuck is a bicycle? Yeah. And thanks for the donation.
All right. We got Colin BH2 sub for 4 months with Prime. That's that Amazon money, baby. I Love Wildlife sub for 4 months with Prime. Stonks are kind of a sport, is what he said. Stonks.
I just started getting into stonks, and I don't see it as a sport, but I do see it because it's kind of like betting. It's like the sports gambling.
Yeah, totally. Stonks is like betting. Crypto's like betting.
You got stonks, Sam? Do you have stonks? You got GameStop? What do you got, Sam? All right, you don't have to tell. We'll talk off the air, but how do you invest?
Well,
is it like a Robinhood, or you use an app?
I use an app. We'll talk about the apps I use off air. I use multiple apps. I'm doing pretty good with my crypto's doing okay. I don't invest a ton. I'm mainly investing as like kind of a sports gambling thing, entertainment purposes only kind of thing, but also to kind of like learn how to do it before I actually invest money into it,
You got AMC?
I do have AMC.
Huge. Reopening stock. Huge.
Yeah, that had its like kind of its spike, then came back down, and now is still like kind of slowly rising and kind of going back up.
I've had my eye on it.
Yeah. There's a weed stock that I have that's doing pretty good. That
what's that? Sundial Growers? Which one? What are we talking?
Sundial lost me money. Sundial's my biggest loser. Afria, APHRIA.
Expect a huge spike right now. Or I guess the market's closed. Tomorrow, I expect a huge spike.
Let me see. I bought it when it was like pretty low. It was like, I think like 17, 19, something like that. And then it like...
I'm interested in low stocks because what I started to do, I started to watch Jim Cramer, Mad Money, and he doesn't talk about low price stocks so much as he talks about like Apple. He's like, if you really want to invest in Costco. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. But it's like, I don't know. I'm interested in like penny stocks. Like I want to buy 1,000 stocks and wake up a rich man.
That's like, yeah, it's so funny. It's like you get this like, penny stock and it goes up to like, you get something and it's like, oh, this is like 0.003 of a cent, and it goes up to like 0.03 of a cent, and you're like, hey, I just made bank. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Costco lunch is on me.
So the other show I do is called Sexy Socks with Darren, and we need to have Darren on Sportsboiz sometime. He follows sports, but he'd be like, I don't know what I'm talking about, but still. And so, but we talk about stocks on our show, Sexy Socks, and I was like, I'm going to buy this one stock, Sundial. I hear good things about Sundial. And it dropped like, I lost like, I only spent like $50 on it, but I immediately lost like $25 like the next day. Felt so bad. Such bad advice. Guys, if you watch Sexy Socks, just know that Darren knows what he's talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, man, I miss Darren. Let's get him on Sportsboiz for sure.
Yeah, I tried to get Trevor on tonight, but we're too busy right now doing White is Good stuff because we're doing all this Mars stuff. Hey, let's get another caller in here.
Yeah, I'm super busy too. I'm checking chat. I'm on the Discord. I'm slammed.
Right. So here, I'll let you choose. We have Down with the Simp. I can't read the whole. Down with the Simpness, like down with the sickness. Klitzner one, and Voice Actor Man. Who do you?
Let's go with Down. Well, I love all three. Hopefully, we can get to all three. I like the Down with the Sickness pun because that's always been one of my favorite songs. Oh,
Down with the Simpness is coming into the private chat.
Love you all, though. The other two callers, we'll get to you. Thank you, everyone who's calling. We love you.
We love you.
Oh, that was so loud.
Yo, can you take your video off? Can you turn your video off?
Yeah, my bad.
It just screws up our layout. No, that's cool. How's it going, Down with the Simpness? What can we call you?
Chris.
What up, Chris?
What's up, Chris? What's on your mind?
Not too much. I was gonna see what your guys' take on upcoming March Madness was.
Dude, great question, Chris. Great call. March Madness this year is going to be a little weird for obvious reasons. I don't know if you've heard about COVID, but it seems to be affecting a lot of sports.
Wait, what is this?
The field of 64 is a tricky one this year, but I got to say, according to all the experts, and the Sportsboiz included, it's Baylor and Gonzaga, top two teams, and the rest of the field are pretty much, looking like has-beens. Gonzaga and Baylor, those are looking like the two favorites to make the Final Four. Everything else is up in the air, but Gonzaga or Baylor looking like they could be champions.
I'm going.
Which one?
Duke and.
I'm going to take Zags. I'll take Zags.
I'm going Duke and Long Beach.
Huge. Duke is having one of their worst seasons in years, but they could still win it.
I'm trolling.
I've been out of college basketball for a while, and I got back in this year because I'm a Mizzou fan, and they're good for the first. Well, they were good for the first time in like several years. But I was shocked. It's like all of the teams that I remember being really, really good are like not doing good at all this year. Like Kentucky and North Carolina, Kansas.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and this is me, and maybe if this is my attitude, I shouldn't do a sports show, but I wait till like a week before March Madness, which I guess would be now. No. What's it start? It starts like March 14th or something usually, right?
It starts on the 18th, I think, this year. Yeah.
I start I wait for like a week out, see if someone invites me to a March Madness pool, and then I do like a week's worth of research. And I other than that, it's usually white noise. But so this year, unlike other years where we have these highly anticipated these athletes that are we can't wait till they get to the NBA like Zion. There isn't anyone, right? There's no marquee players this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's tough because a lot of teams have missed a lot of games, and so no really. There's been no real stars standing out.
I don't even know how the tournament's gonna work because half the teams I've been playing have had at least a few games postponed this season. Like Texas A&M hasn't even played in 2 weeks.
Yeah, Villanova missed 4 weeks at one point, and they're usually obviously one of the top teams. What surprises me, and I don't want to go down too much of a rabbit hole here, although we could, Sam, is that Baylor and Gonzaga, two top teams in college basketball this year. Gonzaga, squeaky clean type program. You think about them, you think about John Stockton and just fundamental basketball, underdog, small school from Washington that, always, at least in the last decade plus, ends up at the top of the rankings. But then you look at Baylor college basketball, Baylor men's college basketball, and I don't know how familiar you guys are with their scandal from 2 decades ago, but there's a documentary, I believe it's on Showtime. It's called Disgraced. It's about the men's Baylor University basketball program. And although this stuff did happen 20 years ago, that's not that long ago. And I'm surprised with all the stuff the Baylor program went through, which included murder. I'm just surprised they've bounced back so quickly. And anyway, Disgraced and the Baylor basketball program is a fascinating story.
Wait, what was that you watched?
Disgraced. What was the controversy?
Well, it's very sordid, and for people who know that it's a very sad story. One of the players on Baylor, well, I don't know if I'll even get it right, but basically he was convicted of murdering one of his teammates, and the coach of Baylor basketball at the time was tape recorded telling his players to basically cover it up. It's a fascinating documentary. I believe it's called Disgraced. It's a few years old, but it's like prime true crime means sports. It's unbelievable.
Man,
and you would think that a team would get suspended forever for that, but if a player on a team murders another teammate, you would think they wouldn't be able to get any recruits after that, right?
I was saying, SMU in football, back in the 80s, they got their football program taken away for paying players. So if that was enough to get a program taken away or severe consequences, you'd think that would have gotten more attention. But
I think it just goes to show
it's also kind of fucked. So
yeah, I think that's the thing is one of these rich teams is trying to outrich the other team. Well, let's get him out of here. But then the other one's like, oh wait, well, some kid killed another kid. Who cares?
Yeah, right.
They're like, this is Texas.
Fellas, I gotta get to bed. I got work in the morning. But thank you for taking.
Dude, call us back again. Gonzaga's going all the way this year, bro. Gonzaga, bro.
Thank you so much for calling.
That's our callers are 100% on cutting us off. They're like, yeah, hey, what's up? What do you think of the NHL? And also, I gotta go.
Thanks so much for calling in.
For sure.
Yeah, we love our callers, love the people in the chat. Love it. I love it.
I'm so bad at this. Is somehow they want to get out of there, but it also is every time I go to get them out, I cut them off, and I feel like a dick for cutting them off. They're like, we gotta go. And we're we're so sorry. He's like, no problem.
Oh man,
that was a good call. Thank you, Dan.
Good call. Simpness. Down with the simpness. Big ups. Call us again sometime. Thank you.
All right. We'll take another caller. Let's do this. Voice actor man, you're on the air with Sam and Greg. Oh, he jumped out. God damn it. Let's try it one more time.
I think this is one of our regulars. Is this caller Sam?
Voice actor man, you're on the air with Greg and Sam.
My bad, fellas. I was in that room for a long time. Everything was silent. Then some loud asshole was screaming in my ear. So I didn't know what was going on.
Was it me?
No, it was Sam. Yeah, thank you guys for having me here again. I wanted to talk about this because I know this was brought up before, but I just want to say it now. Tom Brady has made it known that he did not need Bill Belichick at all.
Oh yeah, I gotta agree with you. And I mean, if you want to take it even further, Bill Belichick might look a little silly having given Tom Brady up.
Oh, definitely.
Because the guy's still winning Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I think you guys are crazy. I think Tom Brady wouldn't be what he is without Bill Belichick. It took being in that system for him to mature, for him to grow. It's not Bill Belichick's fault. I mean, I guess it is to some extent that the Patriots, but I mean, teams, the NFL isn't designed for teams to just like be dominant for forever. And yeah, I mean, like the Patriots are rebuilding.
And
those are very good points, Sam. I'm with you.
That is a good point. But what I am saying though is, even though Brady was built in the Patriots system, through Belichick, it feels as though Belichick really needed him more than Brady needed him, more than Brady needed Belichick in his later years. Like earlier, yes, definitely, you can make that argument. Yes, of course.
Well, but
nowadays,
I'm with you, caller.
Does Mick Jagger need Keith Richards more, or does Keith Richards need Mick Jagger more, or are the Rolling Stones just a great band?
I was just talking about this with my wife. Listen, the Stones are an okay band, and you're right, Sam. Keith and Mick complement each other differently. I would call Mick the Tom Brady. Keith is more of a Belichick. And I mean, you're right. It's hard to say. And I think in the end, we're going to consider Belichick one of the best coaches ever, and we're going to consider Brady the best quarterback ever. It's just that I do see it this caller's way, where they were quick to get rid of him, and he's still good. He's still winning championships. I mean, to a lesser fan who's not as understanding, they look at the situation, they go, hey, didn't the Patriots used to have those guys, Gronk and Brady? Why'd they give them up? And it's like, yeah, pretty good question. But,
well, they didn't.
Belichick had other plans.
Gronk pieced. Gronk retired.
Yeah.
That's true, but yeah.
Here's what I think is I think that Belichick has like an insane, and this has kind of been said, and I think this is probably the truth, is that it's not fun to play for Belichick. I think you can be on a team that's really good, and I think he's really demanding as a coach, and I think, he doesn't like the spotlight. He doesn't like, he thinks of it as work, and I think he's a hard worker. And I think Gronk was like, I'm not going to be on the Patriots another year, so he retired. And then
let me just reframe what I meant. If the Pats had kept Tom Brady, then maybe if Gronk had come out of retirement, he would have chose the Patriots with Tom instead of Tampa Bay. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I meant.
I just think that maybe the kind of like hard work environment is part of the reason why Gronk retired. And I don't think it's easy to be on these other teams, but I do imagine that like there is sort of like a no fun rule in New England, in Foxborough. I think there's
I think
bullshit
you're totally
kind
right.
of thing. And I'm sure he got annoyed with that, and I just think that I think Tampa Bay was just like had all the pieces. I don't think Tom Brady was like, oh, I've always wanted to play for the Buccaneers. I don't think that he was like, oh man, Tampa is just a city I want to live in. I think he was like, this team is a championship team. And I think he's right. I think.
And other great players followed him. And to your point, less so, it seems now great players are following Belichick because it's no fun there, but also, they have that 20-year dynasty. It's going to be a lot to live up to in the next few years. So I don't know if many like free agent QBs, we'll see who they get at QB, but it's like, if you're like Deshaun Watson or like Russell Wilson, you're looking for a trade, like the Pats, when they were winning and they had Tom Brady, it was a great destination. But now that they're, not only losing, but you have to play for hard-ass Belichick, and they have a tradition of winning that's a lot to live up to. No, thanks. You'd almost rather go to like Miami Dolphins or like, Jaguars, because there's lower expectations and you live in Florida, not brick ass cold Foxborough. Oh my God, I said a lot.
Do you know what I think a big part of the problem is too? Is with the whole system, is that with Tom Brady, with an exceptional quarterback, and this is why I think it really appears like they needed Tom Brady. You're right, but like with an exceptional quarterback, their system works because you don't need an amazing running back, and so they had like okay running backs, and they did 2 decades where it was like running back by committee. And I think you just to give yourself, it's so much weight off of you as a quarterback to have a running back that you can rely on, and at least like draw the attention from the defense with that like real threat running back. And that's why, like,
I'm going to make a prediction. Those are great points, Sam. The prediction I was going to make is that this caller is going to tell us he needs to go.
True.
He's like already asleep. He's like, yeah, I already left.
Yeah.
No, oh, sorry. No, I still have a lot of energy left in me, but I completely agree. I just feel as though, just me personally, when it came to the talk around those two, Belichick and Brady, who needed who more, that's what I was more thinking of when I was talking about like Brady not needing Belichick. That was more I was thinking of when it came to like a whole lot of talk about this. Like, but I just felt personally, yeah, it seemed like Brady didn't need Belichick at all. That Brady had what it takes. Has what it takes, and hopefully in the future will have what it takes to keep going in being the greatest quarterback of all time, without any shadow of a doubt.
I mean, but keep in mind, Tom Brady wasn't Peyton Manning. Like, Tom Brady came off the bench. Tom Brady got his start because Drew Bledsoe got injured. And it took a coach like Bill Belichick to commit to Tom Brady to win all the Super Bowls they did, to like win that first one at least,
Yeah, I feel as though this could be an argument that can go on for ages.
Yeah, I mean it's you can't, like, who knows, who can really tell. Yeah.
The caller's like, look, we can talk about this till the cows come home, but I gotta go.
Yeah.
It seems more like you want me to go now to keep the game going. I was, before I actually do have to go, let me just say that this entire discussion actually reminds me of an old, because one of my main passions in life is not just sports. In all honesty, know shit about sports, but I do know a lot about wrestling. And I see you have a Macho Man Randy Savage shirt. One of my favorite images of all time. Macho looking at that goddamn seat, thinking about his Elizabeth. But this reminds me a lot of an old storyline back in, I think 2005, 2006, where it was who created Hulkamania. Was it Vince McMahon or was it Hulk Hogan himself? That's an argument that could be
old. That's a riddle as old as what's the sound of one hand clapping?
Yeah, I think that is a Confucius quote.
Yeah, who created Hulkamania?
Confucius.
Yeah. Well, voice actor man, is this this is Sam, right?
No, this is George.
Oh, George.
Oh, George. Oh, we thought you were maybe a different guy. That's interesting. I think you're right. Hulk is Tom Brady, and Vince McMahon is sort of Belichick, except for it's complicated because with WWE, it's very different from the NFL, as we know, and it's complicated. But Sam made a good point. Tom Brady, originally back in 2001, never would have gotten to play if it weren't for Bill Belichick, and Hulkamania never would have gotten to play if it weren't for the only game in town, Vince McMahon and his WWE. So interesting parallels.
Really quick from my swerve days, and this is kind of common knowledge, but one things that they would say was they were like, man, Vince loves bodily fluids, and I'd be like, what? And like, Vince loves bodily fluids. And so if on the pilot for Swerved, they did a bit where they had a mic and they like rubbed it in dog shit, and they did interviews, and it's just like John Cena being like, what the fuck, like realizing that this mic has shit on it, that it smells bad. And they showed it to Vince McMahon, and I think it was the assistant came back to the Swerved guys and was like, yeah, he would just like, he'd be working in his office, then start laughing and be like, the microphone.
It's like that bit from Total Recall. 2 weeks. That reminds me of, goddamn it, I should be leaving, but that reminds me of another thing. I can't remember who it was. Either it was Pat Patterson or Gerald Briscoe, one of them who recently passed away. One of them had a weak stomach and was very easily nauseous. And Vince McMahon, whenever he was standing next to them, would fart so many goddamn times next to him that he would almost make one of them vomit. And
he seems like a great guy.
Dude loves bodily fluids. He just wants to see it.
And from what I can remember, I think all of this like coalesced into the biggest moment where Vince farted hard once, but it was too hard, and he accidentally shit himself. And I think he had to later go down to the ring and cut a promo.
I love George. I love George's enthusiasm.
George, voice actor, man. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much for talking wrestling.
George,
we
amazing.
We got to get Matt McCarthy on the show too. We had Vince on last week. We just released the Civil War on Drugs. You can rent it on Amazon, and Matt McCarthy.
Dude, that is so huge.
He he has a couple lines in that movie that we made. Thank you, George.
Because he looks like a Civil War guy.
Yeah, he was great.
And also because he's a funny and phenomenal actor. Even a serious actor, he's phenomenal. And that movie is effing phenomenal. I am so glad you guys put that out there. I'm so glad we can watch it. And I'm so glad you made that movie, because not only does it make me laugh, it makes me think. I think it's a really phenomenal movie. I mean, you guys made that movie, what, like 11 years ago? Like, I mean, that movie,
yeah,
it holds up, and it's phenomenal.
Decade
it's
ago.
Phenomenal.
That's crazy. How old are we? Were you in it?
No, but I was an extra in the Abraham Lincoln sketch of season 1.
You were in a lot of stuff.
And I also was, I was like, what is a bicycle? You know, in addition to being,
and also, you were in the thing where I'm playing George Bush. And we had that scene in the back, and you're like, sorry.
Dude, I may be biased, but that sketch is amazing. That's such a funny sketch, dude. I love it.
Our little bit there, that was like improv. We kind of like came up with that the rhythm bit of you apologizing and me in the back of the van. Yeah. Which is a classic a classic Greg Johnson in real life line. Sorry.
Yeah, I was kind of playing myself. I think I'm playing Secret Service, but I'm kind of playing myself. I think I was a cop. It's funny because I was Secret Service. I was a cop asking a bicycle thing. Then I was also a cop in like a window peeping sketch too.
Oh yeah.
And one more thing I want to say about your show is, as your fans know, so many lines stick out and just pop into your head. And one of my favorites is from that Reagan sketch, not just our interaction, but when Zach as Reagan, and this pops into my head constantly.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck all that shit. I'm talking about the movies. It's a great sketch, man.
Him doing all the quotes, the movie quotes, is really funny. Yeah.
And Darren's like, Mr. President, we really have to get to this. It's such a good show.
We've watched, I think, all the other president assassination sketches on. Weird. We've watched all the other president assassination sketches on stream, but I don't think we've watched that one. And I think that's a dark horse for my favorite.
It's great, man. Fuck all that shit. I'm talking about the movies.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so good.
Someone said, I think we could say that Sam played an excellent Bush, but can all agree played a better LBJ. I think I look a lot closer to LBJ if I slick my hair back. I think that whole thing. I got that big LBJ forehead, big knobby nose.
You're basically LBJ.
Yeah, I'm basically. If side by side, it's scary. Let me see.
Sam, your LBJ is getting tons of praise in the chat.
Yeah. Let's do a side by side.
I agree that Sam should win an Oscar. And you know what else I think about a lot, Sam, is that house that you shot at some of your sketches, because I'll see it pop up. I feel like it's the Schmidt's Gay house. You know what I'm talking about?
Totally. Here, wait. I'm gonna just quickly. Huh? I don't know if you can see this in stream. If I shaved my mustache, slicked my hair back, gave it a little gray. It's pretty, like, physically.
Hell yeah.
I could be a president.
I've always said you could be a president.
Yeah. What were we saying? Oh, yeah, the Schlitz Gay house we shot at. That was cool. They had a book at the place where they had all the pictures of all, like, the past productions. Like the printed out photos of it. Like, go to the store and get these developed photos. And they had, I remember it was like they had pictures from like of Sandler and Farley from that sketch, but they also had pictures of, I don't know if you remember this, but it was a big campaign back in the 90s. There was a Duracell campaign where they had people wear those weird like rubbery prosthetics, and it was like a family of people. They shot that commercial there. Do you remember that?
Yes, the campaign was stuff of nightmares.
Yes. It was a very freaky thing. Whereas people with batteries in their back and they looked all plasticky. You don't see that anymore. That was a big thing in the 90s. It was like, I remember Winona's Big Brown Beaver. They used that rubbery prosthetic kind of makeup stuff. I want to see that stuff again. Yeah, what was up with that? I don't know. It was like a big thing.
Yeah. That was a weird aesthetic.
Yeah. Oh, let's take another caller. We got one more caller in the room. So they've been there. So I want to make sure we get to them before we end the show.
Oh yeah, it's past my bedtime.
Yeah, it's getting late for me too. Klitzner 1.
Where are you calling from?
Turn off your video, please. Thank you.
Sorry about that, Sam. Can you hear me?
Oh, no problem. No problem.
Sorry about that, bro.
Sorry
about that,
All
bro.
right, really quick, really
yeah.
quick story while you're on here about the
Sure.
sorry. Greg, this I don't want to put you on the spot here.
Bring it, bro.
Around that time where we were shooting these sketches, Greg would. I live by myself in this apartment, and if this gets too embarrassing, this isn't like anything specific, but he used to come by and he used to be like pissed drunk and be like, "Yeah, can I come over?" And I'd be like, I'd like have a night in where I'm like just playing video games, and he'd be like, "Yeah." I could tell he's drunk. "Can I come over?" And I'd be like, sure. And he would come up to my apartment, sit down, sit for like 2 seconds and be like, "You got any weed?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, man." And he'd go, "Is that fucked up? Is that fucked up?" And then for 20 minutes, while he was smoking my weed, be apologizing to me for smoking my weed.
I said
Loved
sorry
it.
a lot. I said, "Is that
Loved
fucked
it.
up?" a lot to people.
Is that
It
fucked up?
was when we were teenagers.
Yeah, basically.
And you know, I used to garner a lot of laughs to ask for something and then ask if it was fucked up. I used to apologize a lot. Something I still do, and I'm glad we're still talking about it, frankly, because that was like, you know, decades ago. And
we were 25-year-old teenagers.
Nice.
Oh man, you lived alone and you lived so close to me, and we kept the same hours. And you remember that bar? What was that bar that was across from your apartment where they would let you drink free on your birthday, and they used to have free food? Like they would just like have a barbecue.
It was the pool hall bar. Like there used to be like pool tournaments and stuff there.
It was called like No Hope.
Yeah, which was
Like it was
very
literally
fitting.
called like it was called like I think the bar was called "Is That Fucked Up?" Oh, I remember. It was called Second Chance. And Second Chance
Yeah.
in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, used to have free barbecues. So they would just like give out like food. And it was literally, you could see it from Sam's window, and it was open till 5 a.m. every night. So it was like when you're like, you know, teenagers and there's a bar across the street that's open till 5 a.m. every night, it's just bad. It's bad.
Oh, sorry for keeping you on the line for this. This fits in with Sportsboiz though. Quick story that I just remembered about Greg and me in New York. I had in 2004, when Greg and our friendship was just budding. I had a birthday party with a guy from work. His birthday was right by me. He wanted to have a joint party. And it was the night that the Red Sox were playing their first game in the World Series. They just had beaten the Yankees in 2004. And they were playing against St. Louis for game 1. And the bar that the other guy picked didn't have a TV to play baseball, to play sports on it. And I was going there assuming I could watch the game. And I remember I saw Greg outside and we smoked cigarettes, and the bar across the street had the game on, and we kept walking back and forth from the bar across the street to outside, but I never stepped inside the bar that I invited people to for my birthday. I always remember that as being like, oh wow, that must have been a dick move.
It was fine.
We would smoke outside, but then we would go into the bar across the street.
You missed your own birthday party because the Red Sox were in the World Series.
Yeah.
But you didn't miss it. I don't remember. I think that other people, wow. It's funny to think about that, how like you could be at the bar next door, but kind of still at the bar across the street, you know?
Yeah.
God. There's too many bars in Brooklyn.
There's too many bars in New York in general. I remember I had some friends visit me in New York, and I was living with, we were house sitting. Trevor and I were house sitting for this guy in the East Village, and they came to the apartment, and they saw like 3 bars on our block, and they're like, "What's this row of bars called? What is this called?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" It's New York. It's called Manhattan.
Yeah, they're like, yo, this is like the Vegas Strip. And you're like, no, that's just Avenue A between 8th and 9th Street.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's like 7 bars on every block. And I got to say that, like, COVID, you know, you could say a lot of things about COVID, but like, it's taken the bars and restaurants down a notch here in New York. And I don't think that all 7 bars per block will be there on the other side of that, which is good because everyone in the city is a fucking alcoholic, and there should not be business for all those bars. There shouldn't be. Every New York City is a bunch of alcoholics, bars, and scaffolding. It's fucking garbage.
And pedophiles named Woody Allen.
And none of it's de Blasio's fault. It's all you friggin' alcoholics' faults. Second chance saloon, letting you drink free on your birthday and giving you food. It's like, how is that a bar? Like, how are you a bar if you're letting people drink free and eat free? It's like, you're just a crime.
What was that story? I think it's you and Trevor were like you guys met up at a bar, and it was like it's near your house, and you're like, oh, this new bar opened up, and you went there, and the guy was like, you want a shot ski? And you thought he was just being silly in the way he was saying shot. He's like, you guys want a shot ski? And you're like, sure. And it was a ski that had 5 shots on it. If you have to be like that freestyle about how your bars are, there's too many bars.
Yeah, a shot ski, as maybe people in the chat know, is a shot with different shot glasses on it, and y'all get in a line and you do it at the same time. Now, Zach points out that removing bars won't get rid of the alcoholics. And yeah, I get that. No shit. But why do we need 8 bars on every block that offer shot skis, that offer, you know, free booze? And another funny part of that story, Sam, real quick, was that night that Trevor and I were at the bar, the owner who offered us a shot ski told us that the bar had just recently opened, and we're like, oh, cool, you know? Like, we didn't care because he was kind of obnoxious, this guy. Yeah. And at one point, he said a bunch of crazy things that night. But at one point, he's like, we just opened. And he pointed across the bar. He goes, look, see that poster? And it was a poster of Ben Affleck, but he had like a dick written on his like forehead. Like somebody had like graffitied a dick on his forehead. And he goes, the owner of the bar goes, see that poster of Ben Affleck with a dick on his forehead? He goes, just wait. We're just getting started. It's going to get way more sarcastic in here. It was like, sarcastic. Wait, what? Like, why? Like, your bar, like a bar doesn't have to be sarcastic.
Clip it. That's great. I'm not saying like cut it off. I'm saying to chat, someone should save that clip. I think that's so funny.
Yeah, no, I remember Trevor and I were like, yo, your bar doesn't have to be sarcastic, bro. Like you're owning a bar wrong. Like, he's like, yo, see that picture of Ben Affleck with a dick on his forehead? It's like, yeah, why is that up? What is that? Why? You're doing it wrong.
Yo, we're going to put up signs that say like, no drinking, please. It's going to get fucking sarcastic.
You know what? And honestly, it did get more sarcastic in that bar because I went back in there and they have tons more shit on the walls. And it's like, you don't need this stuff. That's also, I got to say, that's also one of these Brooklyn bars. I don't know that they do this in other cities where they give you free pizza.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, their gimmick was giving out free pizza with the booze, and random photos of like Affleck, but he's got like a dick on his head. You get it? It's like, yeah, the owner did that. Like the owner did that. If you like that, you should try the shot skis.
Man, whoa! This guy has a poster of Ben Affleck and then drew a dick on his forehead. Who would do that to their Ben Affleck poster? This place is fucking sarcastic.
This bar knows no laws and is perfectly sarcastic. Your bar's not supposed to be sarcastic, dude.
Dude, I'm going to start a bar and it's going to be so random. Forget about it.
So random. And also, I got to say, I think, maybe this maybe goes without saying, but I think the guy recognized Trevor, so he was like trying to like impress us. Like he's really trying to talk up his bar. He's like, just wait, come back next week, and it's gonna be even more sarcastic if you can handle it.
He's like, and we only have good music in the jukebox. We have like Zeppelin and Nirvana and
that's
Aerosmith's greatest hits. That one Clash CD. Only good music. User Illusion 2. Klitzner, thank you for jumping on while we just like went down memory lane. Welcome to
It's all good. It's great content.
Welcome to Sportsboiz.
We're all about great content here on Sportsboiz, and thank you for calling in. Thanks to all the callers and all the people in the chat. Fucking right on.
Klitzner.
Oh yeah, man. Calls have been great. Oh yeah, Sam. What's up?
I'm gonna take a stab in the dark, and I don't mean to offend. Are you a little chilled out right now?
Oh, just a little bit, Sam. Just a little bit.
I could hear it. I could hear this dude's a little chilled out.
Just wait, Klitzner, because it's gonna get way more sarcastic.
I think that's our slogan for Sportsboiz. Welcome to Sportsboiz. It's about to get sarcastic.
Oh, you got
great slogan.
Klitzner, you have a question? You have anything sports thoughts you want to throw out there? Hot takes?
Yeah, I got two sort of questions, both in different fields. One's a football question, just in general opinion from you guys.
Okay.
Do you feel like college players are, in a sense, exploited? You know how you guys talked about the CTE scams that come about and everything. Even on top of that, the fact that these schools make so much money, if not majority of their money, from these events. Usually,
it's
1,000%, dude. Yeah, they're definitely 1,000%. Exploited. I mean, for years, they're not making any money. You could argue that they get a scholarship, but whatever. I laugh at a scholarship. These guys are making the school so much money. They get paid zero. They're risking their lives. They're risking their brains. And this year, on top of it all, you pile on this COVID stuff, and you're not going to pay them anything when they're making millions and millions for the school. I mean, it's not only laughable, it's criminal, and it's sad, in my opinion. You have to almost stop yourself when you're watching college sports, not just football, but basketball. Although obviously basketball is a little less dangerous. They're still risking COVID, and they're still not making any money when they're raking in millions for the school. It's an insane situation, and it's criminal.
Yeah, there's so much money there. Do you know about the NCAA EA franchises? You remember there used to be NCAA football as a video game you could play?
What?
Yeah, they're bringing that back.
I remember South Park doing a parody on that, actually.
South Park's kind of great.
Yeah. What was his name? The Florida quarterback. He watched the NFL. Tim Tebow. The reason that they had to stop doing them was because someone went into the code. Like the whole thing was that they couldn't have actual players in there because they can't pay the players, so you couldn't have the actual players on the team, but so someone was checking out the code of one of the games, and they found a line of code with Tebow in it, like Tebow code, to designate that Tim Tebow was one of the players, and so they were able to like sue, and that's why they don't do that anymore. And that's what kind of like killed that.
Well,
it's
it's interesting because it stopped in 2014, but EA just 2 weeks ago announced they're going to relaunch it because there was a lot of clamor from video game fans that they got rid of that NCAA football game. So now that EA says they're going to relaunch it, Notre Dame has said they're not going to be in it. A couple teams are like, I don't know. Anyway, they're trying to relaunch that game, so it's interesting.
The way around that is just making it that you can customize rosters and stuff like that, and that you can upload and download rosters, and then people can make their own rosters based on actual people and have that trade. But that's neither here nor there. I think, there's just so much money there. These players need to get paid. Also, this is kind of a silly thing to bring up, but I watched the Disney movie Safety. And
you
it's
did.
About a true story about someone on Clemson who had to look after his little brother and got investigated by the NCAA for people helping out, like do stuff like drop his little brother off at school or helping him pay for his apartment, like for the first payment, or like giving him work. And it gets too dicey to create these laws. I mean, like to I get that the rules are supposed to kind of regulate like these programs that have like these booster programs that are over injecting money and making it unfair. Well, it's unfair for the players. Those are the people who are paying, and they need to pay them. There's so much money there. They need to get a piece of that pie.
Just wait, man. It's going to get way more sarcastic in here. I agree with you, Sam. Those are all great points.
What was your other question?
1000% agree with both of y'all. Oh, okay. So one is kind of a more fucked up football question. The other one is a general sort of, they just announced this, I think, and I want to get your opinion on it.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go with one that's not so fucked up. I saw on the news that they're announcing they're going to do the Summer Olympics in Tokyo for 2021. So how do you guys feel about that?
Well, skateboarding is going to be in the Olympics. That's huge.
Oh, dope.
I'm looking forward to that. I was looking forward to it last. I thought one of the greatest COVID tragedies was that we've been denied this skateboarding Olympics.
Wait, but Sportsboiz was built. This show here was built on the anticipation of one event in the Summer Olympics. Greg, what's that event?
That's true. A little thing we call breakdancing. Everyone's favorite sport is now an Olympic sport. Breakdancing will not be in this coming Olympics, but I think 2024 breakdancing will make their Olympic sports debut. What's your favorite sport? Well, I know what mine is. It's breakdancing.
I want to hear Bob Costas talking about popping and talking about locking. I want to hear him talking about some windmills. I think
look
this
at
will
him
be
pop.
great.
Look at him lock. He's like, do you believe in miracles? That's what I want to see. Is like there's no way that he can pull this out. And then the guy's like, and then Al Michaels is like, do you believe in miracles?
There's an Olympic event that is so insane. I think it's the decathlon.
Yeah.
Wait,
it's 10 events. You got to run, you got to swim, you got to shoot. It's insane.
Yeah. It's horse riding, shooting, running.
It's insane. Imagine being in the Olympic. This is not all athletes are created equal. Imagine being in the Olympic Village in Tokyo, and it's like, yo, what are you competing in? It's like, Decathlon. How about you? Breakdancing. It's like, oh, okay. Not quite the same, but we're both at the Olympics.
It's the modern pentathlon. It's swimming. It's running, swimming, horseback riding, fencing, and shooting.
Jeez.
But I believe they're also adding grinding and doing the robot.
That's the septathlon, the modern septathlon.
like you get to the end and you're like, I finished, and they're like, and they're like, oh, right. Ooh, and they're like, now you're done.
The crazy thing is too
Y'all
is
think America's gonna take home the gold, boys?
Hopefully, yeah, and all that stuff. I think America always, dominates the Olympics, and skateboarding, breakdancing, fucking dude, that's all we do.
It's to make this more interesting too, the modern pentathlon, not to go back to this, but
if possible.
It's not just shooting. It's not like, I think the decathlon is in the Winter Olympics has like rifle shooting. It's pistol shooting.
Oh, it's like, that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to make of that.
And the guns are these crazy Olympic pistols. That's so weird. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're excited. You'll be hearing a lot about the Olympics coming up on Sportsboiz. But the only thing is, caller, I don't know. I'm with people that think they should call that shit off. I mean, I don't think we're out of the woods yet with COVID enough where we can have the damn Olympics. I mean, I know the NFL play their season, and I know sports have been going off. It's just that it's a little sketchy as to whether we're going to be ready for the Olympics this summer, but we'll see. And, I'm really looking forward to skateboarding. Let's just say I hope that, Jackass becomes an Olympic sport next.
Damn right.
Pranks.
Wouldn't that be awesome if they made Jackass an Olympic sport? That'd be dope.
All right, I'm looking at the list of sports for and there's some good ones. I mean, here's the other thing. When we were kids, the Olympics used to be summer and winter were on the same year every 4 years. And so you'd go through your life, and all of a sudden you'd be 8, and they'd be like, yeah, the Olympics are happening this year. And you'd be like, wait, what the fuck's an Olympics? I kind of remember that. Like, wait, what? Like, and then, like, it was cool. It was an event. And then when they staggered them, so every 2 years we have an Olympics, it's just kind of like, it's like every other year there's, NBC is like, you're like, yeah, it's too much NBC. Too much ad money going into this. So at least, like, I think I'm excited that it's 3 years. I like it better that way. And so let me go through some of these cool events that are a little bit different that they're having in the Summer Olympics this year. They're having 3-on-3 basketball. So it's a big and one tournament.
Dude, I should get in on that. I could be good.
They breakdancing in the Olympics is called breaking. Here's an event. Whoa. Yo, there's an event called the canoe slalom. It's like basically whitewater rafting canoeing.
That sounds tight.
The canoe sprint.
Sounds intense.
There's 4 bicycling events. There's cycling track, cycling road, cycling mountain bike, cycling BMX. So,
yo, what the fuck is a BMX?
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot to talk about on what the fuck's a bicycle.
Yeah, that's gonna be a killer segment.
Equestrian dressage. There's 3 equestrian events. Equestrian dressage, which I think that's just like fancy walking on a horse.
Yeah.
Equestrian eventing, which is the one with the steeple jump or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Equestrian jumping. So that's like with like the big gates. It's always funny. It's like what country has the best horses? Fencing,
America.
Soccer, football, golf. Is golf always a thing?
Yup. You know, the ancient Greeks, when they invented the Olympics, they were huge on golf and breakdancing.
Handball, hockey, judo, karate, taekwondo. There's judo, karate, and taekwondo. Let's see, rugby, sports climbing. That's cool. That's like.
Do they have lacrosse?
Bouldering. I didn't see lacrosse on there.
No lax, huh? Interesting. I don't know if I'll watch them.
4 years. Surfing. I'm very excited about surfing. I think that'll be really fun to watch.
That's gonna be dope.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be gnarly. It's gonna be fucking gnarly.
I wonder if they're building a pool, if they're doing like a wave pool kind of thing, because there's been a lot of advances in surfing of man-made surf waves in the last 5-6 years.
If they're doing surfing, they might as well do shark punching.
Let's see. Trampoline. Is that always a thing? Trampoline?
Yeah, the ancient Greeks loved tramps, bro. They were like all about trampolines. You know how like now when you see trampolines, there's like when we were kids, it was just like a freestanding trampoline, but now they have like the nets around it to like protect. I don't know where I'm going with that, but I just wanted to point out the evolution of trampolines.
All right, so here I got one last question about this going through the sports. They have wrestling freestyle and wrestling Greco-Roman. So
Interesting.
Do you know what the difference is?
I don't. But I think that Greco-Roman is kind of like skateboarding, and I think like freestyle is more like breakdancing. I basically just relate everything back to skateboarding and breakdancing because those are my two favorite sports these days.
Oh wait, here it is. It's that Greco-Roman is the more traditional like college style, and wrestling freestyle has costumes and entrances.
No, you're kidding.
No. Yeah, they get folding chairs. It's freestyle's another way of saying backyard.
That's amazing. It's like, the favorites for gold are Undertaker and Hulkamania is going to be in the Olympics this year.
Apparently, Goldberg's coming back. Sting.
Oh man, I love it.
Olympic gold medalist Sting.
The pride of America, Sting.
Oh, fucking a guy I know is wrestling John Moxley tonight, who's one of my favorite current wrestlers. Did that happen yet?
Huge. Let's tune in. Let's go tune in.
Did you ever watch AEW? Caller, thanks so much for calling in and talking about Olympics. I got to go watch the John Moxley and what's Ryan Nemeth's name on this? Is like the Hollywood Kid or something?
I'm not sure.
Let's see.
Hey, I want to thank the caller, and I want to thank all of your fans, all the people in the chat, this caller, and everyone who tunes into Sportsboiz. Lot coming up in the next few weeks, Sam,
Hollywood
and I love being with you, brother. Thank you, Sammy. I love you, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming out, Greg. Thank you, listener. I'm gonna do here, Greg. You take off. I'm gonna do the thank you Two Gun Toast for the sub. Thank you, Mr. Timmy Prime, for the sub. Thank you, Bacchus, for the 6 months, tier 1. Thank you, Mighty Ginger. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for Booze Chewbacca for subbing for 5 months. Have you guys heard or seen fan-controlled football? Twitch viewers pick the plays. No. That seems... What's it like, Madden? That's really funny. I have to look into that. Well, guys, wait, let me check and see if there's anything on... Oh, whoa, my head's all weird. Sorry. Let me... Hey, guys. Let me fix this. I'm gonna fix this, and then I'm gonna get us going, and then I'm gonna raid us. Let me get a raid going. There we are. Hey, I know it's sloppy. I'm just gonna check the other thing. Let's see. Thanks for watching Sportsboiz, guys. It's always fun. I'm exhausted. Thank you for watching. Check out Barkerson Myers. Let me see. And do we get... Oh, thank you for Barney Pinewood for donating $10. No comment, but thank you for that. And I am going to... Let's see who I will raid. Let's see, who's on? Let's see. You guys want Maddox or you guys want Sekiro Shadows Die Twice? Or Choom playing... Oh, Fantastic Plastics. Oh, yeah, I'll do Fantastic Plastics. Here we go. Have a fun time watching Fantastic Plastics. Thanks, guys.